there's Teresa, Len, Charles, Edward, Morris, Lee, John, Britton, Brian, Wayne, and Jimmy Lee.
And welcome to Repertory Company Theater's RCT360. We're so happy to have you here. And guess what? This is episode number 41. I'm Deidre Sherm.
I'm Laura Alley.
And I'm Rachel Ratcliffe.
And this episode is the episode of a brand new day. We're so excited. RCT360 has a new look, if you haven't noticed. And we're real excited about it. And today we're going to be taking a look behind the scenes. We've got some on-stage and off-stage things, and we're going to introduce you to a couple of our rep members. The lovely and talented, uber talented Megan Dembski, and hair cutter stylist extraordinaire Jimmy Lee Beard. And we can't forget that we're going to say hi to Philip Slay, who has been running the RCT musical theater program for the kids' School of Musical Theater along with Laura these last couple of months. So we are packed, ladies, for today. What do you have to say?
Well, now that there is a light at the end of the tunnel for theaters and the arts, which is amazing. So we will bring you more about our theater, artists, and the arts. Rachel?
You know, I hear, ladies, that the RCT production of Love Letters is going into Tech Week tomorrow, Sunday. And what better way to kick off the show and get ready for our two amazing casts than hearing from one of the stars of Love Letters, our own rep member, Megan Dembski. Take it away, Megan.
Hi, my name is Megan Dembski, and I have the honor of playing Melissa Gardner in A.R. Gurney's Love Letters this February at Repertory Company Theater. When I first learned of this play, Love Letters, my assumption was that it was going to be a play about poetic, frilly love letters sent from one adoring partner to the other. Boy, was I wrong. Love Letters is so much more complex than that. It follows the story of Andrew and Melissa, who meet each other at the age of 7, and they do not like each other. However, as they continue writing their letters, it seems like fate is pulling them together, only to pull them apart again year after year. Sometimes they meet, sometimes they argue, sometimes they have relationships with other people, but in the end, they always find solace in their letter writing to each other that spans the decades. Won't you come and join me and my scene partner, the fabulous and always entertaining Eddie Herring, this February 5th through the 14th at Repertory Company Theater. Tickets are online right now. See you soon.
I can't wait to see Megan. She is so talented. Love Letters is going to run between February 5th and February 14th, and there are two amazing casts. So you can see Megan and Eddie Herring in cast 1, and you can see Ruth Ellen Heaton and Gary Anderson in our other cast. It's not really a 1 and a 2. We'll call it 1 and A, or Stars and Moons, but they're both going to be fantastic. Go see the show twice. And every show is going to be a little bit different depending on which cast you see. Also, calling all of the football widows out there. Next week, I think there's a certain big game that you may have a spouse or significant other that could be glued to on a certain Sunday afternoon. How about you just gather up all your gals and go see Love Letters? Call the RCT box office for tickets or visit our website, rcttheater.com. We can hook you up. And then you can always DVR it and watch the commercials later, because that's really kind of the best part anyway. Think about it and stay tuned.
Well, something else I am looking forward to right now is Rachel with your quarantine confessional. Take it away.
Thank you, Deidre. And it's welcome time once again for another episode of Quarantine Confessions. Come closer, closer, but not too close. So today, friends, as we talk about a brand new day, I'm so excited that there is at least the glimmer of hope that we will get to enjoy theater the way that we used to and want to in the not super soon, but at least foreseeable future. It's wonderful. And it reminded me of the very first show that I ever did when I was a little girl. But I have to take you even a little bit farther back before I tell you about that. Like many dramatic young girls that grew up mostly in the 80s, I was obsessed with Annie. Specifically that movie Annie with Albert Finney, and Eileen Quinn played Annie, and Anne Reiking had those beautiful legs. And anyway, it was a great movie. I was obsessed with it. I knew every song. I knew most of the dialogue. I really annoyed people by reciting things from Annie. I even had like the toys that went along with the Annie movie, including like the Daddy Warbucks castle. It was kind of like a Barbie dream house, but for like an old bald man. You know, potato, potato, it all works out. So anyway, when my local community theater announced that they were going to be doing a production of the musical Annie when I was in like first and second grade, this made my heart go aflutter. I knew that I was destined to be Annie. So of course, I try out, I had a great audition. I was cast, but sadly as Molly and not Annie. In hindsight, it was completely the right choice. I was a little bit young and not the perfect Annie at the time. And I loved being Molly, like the most West Texas drawl of a Molly that ever there was, but brilliant all the same. But a small part of my heart always yearned for playing Annie, just even as an adult when I got to be in a production later. So imagine my thrill when I see on the prospective RCT calendar a production of Annie coming up. And I want to announce today, my friends, that I am all in. I want to be in that show. But to be specific, and I know that we talk about, oh, there's no small parts, you know, just small actors, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to be in Annie. I want to be Annie. That's right. You heard me. Now you might be thinking, okay, well, what business does a 40-something professional mom have playing the role of Annie? And I'd say a lot. You know, maybe you like a little floppish, you know, sixth grader singing your happy songs, but think about the level of detail and drama that a middle-aged woman could bring to that role. I mean, think about it. Annie, maybe, you know, she's been in an orphanage for 40 years. The other girls look up to her. Maybe, you know, she's even like worked her way through law school. That's going to bring a milieu of emotions that no one has ever seen in a production of Annie before. So maybe you're still into the, you know, little girl vibe. That's fine. Ageist, but fine. But I'm here to tell you that I am going to bring some Annie realness to you this summer. And all you super talented little middle school girls that are out there thinking that it's going to be you, I'm coming for you. I am coming for you. And that is my quarantine confession.
Oh, thank you, Rachel. And I'm so excited for this summer. I wonder what that's going to look like. Ooh, well, I can't wait. It's time now for us to head over to Lara, as she's got a special in the spotlight. He's one of my favorites. Take it away.
Today's In the Spotlight guest is one of RCT School of Musical Theater's teachers, as well as an RCT stage staple and one of my favorite on-stage partners. Please welcome to the webcast, Mr. Philip Slay. Hi, Philip.
Hi.
So good to see you. Can you tell everyone out there in cyber world who you are and what it is that you do?
Absolutely. So like Laura said, my name is Philip Slay. I'm one of RCT's company members, as well as a teacher for the School of Musical Theater. And in the real world, I actually work at an organization called Drama Kids International, where I get to work with theater and youth every single day. We're a developmental drama program focusing on public speaking skills, self-confidence, and acting skills. So super fun.
So today we're going to keep the interview process a little different. We're going to be highlighting the RCT School of Musical Theater. So Philip and I, since we both work at RCT, are going to kind of interview each other. So I'm actually going to start off with some questions for Philip, and then he's going to rapid fire some back at me. So Philip, you have been kind of manning the wheel or the helm of the RCT School of Musical Theater for a couple of months now. What are some things that you have learned from that process?
Absolutely. I think the most prevalent, noticeable thing that we can learn from our kids these last couple of months is their resiliency and their ability to flex and adapt in times of change, because times have changed and they're just really rolling with the punches. Having to wear masks in rehearsal, having to social distance, smaller class sizes, things like that, that they're not used to, and it's kind of invading their theater home. They're just happy to be doing the thing that they love. And it's really great to see them do that and also have really kind of adult conversations about what's going on, at least we get to do it, right? We may have to wear a mask and get our temperature taken, but at least we get to perform, which is something that we love. So that's the thing that I think is the most amazing thing that we can see from our kids every day at RCT.
I think that's fantastic. And, at RCT, we definitely have what we kind of consider an RCT way of doing things. How do you think this benefits our students?
Well, and from pre-COVID to now, it's been the same. We have this level of professionalism that is really beneficial, I think, for our students, where we're not just handing them parts and making a pretty picture and selling a product. We're really creating experiences for these kids that are not only going to help them in their lives if they can continue to pursue theater, but also just providing them a home for their hobby that they really love, and a family. RCT is such a family, and that's from all the way from our adults all the way down to our kids. I really love that these kids get this really unique and professional experience, and they see it through from beginning to end, from auditions and rehearsal performances all the way through the strike, that they get to help with every ounce of the process, and they do it in a very just professional way. They're little professionals. That's what I call them.
I always say if they can learn anything through this process, that strike is very helpful, because if they can learn anything, it will teach them how to clean up after themselves or hang something up on a hanger. I always say to the parents that skill will hopefully at least translate over to home for you guys.
Not with everyone, but for some of them, for sure.
True, but we try. We definitely try. Philip, do you have any questions for me today?
Absolutely. So one of my questions for you is, what is one of your favorite things about teaching and directing young people at RCT?
I think that's the fact that I approach when I direct both main stage shows and a lot of the children's shows here. I direct everything the same. I treat the children as I would treat the adults, and I require that level of professionalism. It's the same exact process. I call it the sink or swim, way of theater. I always say we throw the kids into the deep end of the pool, and they always rise to the top, because it's just innate in them that they work really hard. And I think just kind of teaching them and giving them, the same thing you would give to adults is respectful to them. And it teaches them things that when they get to a high school or college level, they'll already be ready. They'll already have that skill in their arsenal.
Absolutely. And you share that respect with them, and you get it back like twice over, which is great. Absolutely. So what is an experience or a memory or a moment that you know of from a previous youth RCT production that is like the most vivid memory for you? Maybe it's like an onstage fumble or like a really sweet, tender moment, anything that like sticks out to you is like, oh my goodness, I tell this story time and time again.
There have been so many, because I have been directing children for over 20 years. And so I've had a lot of experiences. I've directed shows multiple times, and when you bringing this up, there is a story of, I can't remember what the show was. I feel like it was maybe Cinderella, maybe Snow White. This was years ago in the summer. And it was a class that was geared more or less to younger children. We had like some 6 and 7 year olds in there. And it was the opening number of the show, and they were singing. We had a very little girl who maybe had just turned 6, and she fell and hurt her knee on stage. And she was very little, and she started to cry. I mean, it was just during the show, sitting there crying. And I didn't know what to do. Do I go down from the booth and help her? And the best thing about it was all of her fellow actors and those around her kind of helped her up, and the older kids kind of sheltered her and helped her and got her off stage, and the show just kind of kept going on, and she was back on stage within 15 seconds after that. So I thought that just kind of like the resilience of those other actors to kind of help her, and the fact that she was so little and just pulled it together and got right back on the stage, I was like, wow, that's really saying something, that she's got that confidence to just come right back out and not be embarrassed and just kind of keep going. But that was really great.
For sure. The show must go on.
It has to. That's true.
So you said that you direct, you've been directing obviously for 20 years. You direct a lot of shows again and again. If there are like your top 3 shows for the kids that you could direct again and again, never get tired of, what would those 3 be?
I definitely, when I think of that, one of my answers would be 13, the musical. Jason Robert Brown wrote a great musical for preteens and teenagers because he was kind of tired of hearing The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow and Castle on a Cloud. So he wrote them a musical that is relevant to them and it's fun. So I've directed it 3 times, and each time it's so fun. The kids love it. And it's just one that kind of sits well in my heart because they love it so much. So they're always really excited to do it. I love that one. And then I was able to do Les Mis, the school edition, with the kids, which was a huge undertaking. It was a big show with like 40 kids. And I had really exceptional kids in that performance. And I thought that was just a great experience for them to get to be a part of Les Mis. And it was so fun and it's just rewarding, and the music and everything. And I know they loved doing that one. And then recently, one that has kind of become near and dear to my heart was Elf Jr. I did it, I think maybe 2 Christmases ago. It was a show that I was like, okay, I'll just kind of, that sounds good, we'll do that one. And then through the process of it, I loved it because it had such a good meaning. And again, it was one of those that the kids loved doing. It was set in modern times. Parts were great, a huge cast of like 40 kids again, and it was just a lot of fun. So I love it when it's a big group of kids that love being there and they just are excited about doing the work. That's what gets me the most excited, I think.
For sure. We do miss those big groups of kids, that's for sure.
We do. So hopefully we hope and pray that everything with this COVID and vaccines and everything gets underway so that this summer we can bring you some bigger shows. But if not, we will definitely keep things as safe and socially distanced as we possibly can. We have all of the CDC protocols in place, and we will definitely take care of your kids. Philip, it's been awesome talking with you today. And if anyone out there is interested in more information on our School of Musical Theater, you can go to our Facebook page or our website, because we've got a whole bunch of summer things and things for the spring coming up. And we'd love to entertain you with your children and keep them busy and let them have a great time and learn through art with us. Thanks, Philip.
Thanks.
Yay, thank you, Philip. It is so good to see you. And I have to say, from a personal place, I just want to say thank you to Philip and Laura, because I've actually had my kid at RCT's School of Musical Theater, and it was such a fantastic experience, not only for my kid, but for me, and we still talk about it all the time. So thank you so much. We love what you're doing. All right, I think it's now time to head to one of my favorite things, which is possibly losing another game. But let's see what happens. We've got a new game, and I think we have a special guest. Rachel, take it away.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our new game segment, Little White Lies, where we have contestants provide a truth and a lie. One is chosen, and our hosts have to guess which one is truth or lie. I didn't really describe that completely right, but you're gonna get it as we go through. But today is a monumentous day in the history of RCT360 Little White Lies, because we have our very first guest contestant. And I don't think that we could have chosen a better first contestant for Little White Lies. Everybody, you know him, you love him, you like him with long hair, short hair, and you want him to cut your hair. Let's give it up for Mr. Jimmy Lee Beard. Jimmy Lee, welcome. You know I love you. You know that I love you. All right, we're going to bring on Laura and Deidre. I believe that you know them. We'll let them pick an envelope, and then Laura, Deidre, welcome.
Hello.
Welcome.
We're ready.
Laura,
Hi,
Deidre.
Jimmy Lee.
Hey girls, how are you?
Jimmy Lee's got his envelopes ready. In one envelope is a truth, in the other one is a lie. Laura, because you're Laura and I like your hat, I'm gonna let you choose today.
I'm gonna go Jimmy Lee with number 2.
Ooh.
Envelope number 2. All right, I feel good about this. This one just has a lot of positive energy. So, Jimmy Lee, you're gonna open your envelope. You're going to read what's inside, and then Laura, Deidre, you're each gonna have 3 questions, and 3 questions only. 3 for you and 3 for you. This is 6 total. To figure out whether or not the statement is a truth or a lie. So, Jimmy Lee, let's hear what you got.
I spent most of my childhood on a pig farm in Arkansas. I'm the baby of 6 siblings. Oink, oink.
I love this. I love it. And since Laura, you got to pick the envelope, we're going to start the questions with Miss Deidre Sherm. Deidre, make us proud.
My first question is, what number are you in the 6? And tell us by naming them off real quick. Go.
I am number 6. I'm the baby. There's Teresa, Len, Charles, Edward, Morris, Lee, John, Britton, Brian, Wayne, and Jimmy Lee.
I counted like 12 children, but
That seemed like more than 6. That seemed like more than 6. No, I didn't finish college, but I feel like that may have been more than 6.
Right. Yeah. And are these? I know I'm not supposed to ask questions, and those were all humans and not pigs, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's fair. Okay. Continue, Deidre. Continue. I interrupted.
Okay. So what time do you feed pigs?
You feed the pigs in the morning, the afternoon, and the evening.
Pigs get
Mornings
hungry,
on the farm are like 5:30.
And my final question for you is, would you name the pigs?
Absolutely.
Okay. Laura, it's back to you.
All right.
Yeah,
I
Laura,
actually
back to
wrote
you.
mine down during that because I've got some in-depth questions to ask you, Mr. Jimmy Lee.
Ooh.
What kind of pigs were said pigs on the farm?
I don't know that answer. There were little pink ones and white ones with black spots and big ones with, and yeah, they're pigs.
Pig
Lots
ears.
of them.
Mhm.
All
Yeah,
right. You
lots
don't know the type, yet you call yourself a pig farmer. Okay. What other types of farming were on said farm that you grew up on?
So we had rabbits, horses, cows, and guineas.
Guineas. Nice. Okay. Sounds good. And then my last question, which really has nothing to do with pigs, but I just kind of want to know the answers. Can you drive a tractor?
It's hard hitting.
My answer is yes, I can. Ask people who see me drive, and their answer is no.
Good answer.
That's a fair answer. That's a fair answer. I feel truth. I feel like there's truth in that. I do. All right, ladies, those were very good questions. I'm proud of both of you. I feel like we got a lot of interesting information out, but now is the time of truth or lie. What's it going to be?
I'm going to say that this is true. And I was a little thrown off by the number of children. But as I was counting, we got to like 11, I think, and then he said, and me. And so I feel like maybe he was giving us first and middle names as he went through the list. So I'm going to say it's true.
I'm going to agree because I feel like maybe all of his siblings might be hyphenated like himself. And I feel like he has said that they are all hyphenated like himself. So if they were said hyphenated, Alejandro! If they were hyphenated, then that would have been 6. And I feel like I've heard stories about the pigs. I would love to see him drive a tractor. So I'm going to hope and pray that, yes, I think this is true.
Okay, you have 2 truths. So, Jimmy Lee, either you're the world's most interesting pig farmer or you may be the best liar. What is it?
I am the world's most interesting child of a pig farmer.
Yay!
How about a hand for the hog?
Heck yes, oink oink, baby, oink oink.
So
Boy,
is it
boy.
true? Is it true that all your siblings have hyphenated names?
It is absolutely true that my mother invented the hyphen.
She did.
She did.
Tell her thank
She
you.
did.
She invented
Didn't
the
exist
hyphen.
before her, your mother. I love that.
I enjoy a hyphen, and I thank Mama Jimmy Lee, as I like to call her, because we're close, for that. So this was fantastic. You brought a really good story to bear, and I feel like we all grew and learned a little bit about pigs and tractors today. So thank you, good sir, for joining us. Come back anytime.
Thank you.
Yay! I finally win one. So good. Even if I had to share the winning title. But hey, Jimmy Lee, it is so good to see you. We love you so much, and we are always happy to have you here at RCT360, and we can't wait to see you on the RCT stage. Well, now we would like to share a little something special with you. We want to give you a behind the scenes look into our theater. And what better way to do that than to take a look at the day of the life of our resident music director and the director of our School of Music, the one and only, the beautiful and talented Laura Alley.
Welcome to my new segment called A Day in the Life, where we're going to give you a sneak peek behind the curtain at what goes on behind the scenes here at RCT. We're starting off this week with a bang. Haley Ellis has been an RCT stage staple for countless years. She has entertained audiences in such shows as Hairspray and Lend Me a Tenor. Let's take a look at what Haley has to share with us today.
Hey there, RCT, it's your gal Haley, and I am here for a quick dose of Fit Chat. Now, if you saw my recent interview with the lovely and oh so talented Laura Carter Alley, I talked a lot about my CrossFit journey and how it really changed my life, both physically and mentally. But one of the things I want to talk with you about today is how it improved my performance as an actor and the benefits that I saw almost immediately when I started my CrossFit journey. I was starting to run harder, lift heavier, do a lot more conditioning, and because of that, I not only saw my cardiovascular health improve, which gave me the ability to sustain notes longer, to have a little more breath and lung support, because let's face it, singing and dancing at the same time can sometimes be a challenge, right? I also had more energy and the ability to dance a little bit harder. If you saw Hairspray or Grease, we had some pretty intense dance numbers in there that definitely called for a little extra punch and pizzazz, and I owe so much of that to my fitness journey. So I want to give you guys one of my little secret weapons. I hope this helps, and of course, in true CrossFit fashion, I am using my handy dandy whiteboard. Now, if you aren't familiar with the term EMOM, that stands for every minute on the minute. And I used this technique a lot, especially in preparation to play Tracy in Hairspray. So we know, if you've seen the show, she rarely leaves the stage and she sings a lot. So one of the ways that I used EMOMs to not only prepare for the role, but to also learn the lyrics, I downloaded the soundtrack on my phone, popped my headphones in, and I would go for a run through downtown Dallas, singing along and just kind of listening, because the more you know, the more you hear it, the more you absorb. But I would do an EMOM. So for 1 minute, I would run really hard, and then the next minute on the minute, I would just kind of jog and recover. And I would go through this for a certain amount of songs, usually like 20, 30 minutes, depending on how much time I had in the day. And it made a huge difference as a performer and as an athlete. And I think we can all agree that heart health is so important to our longevity. So try incorporating an EMOM into your workout routine. Let me know how it helps. This is your friend Haley again with a little bit of Fit Chat. Have a good one, guys.
Thank you, Haley, and join us again next week to see more behind the scenes magic. Isn't she incredible, girls?
Love her. The cutest, most photogenic, fittest person I know.
No.
And I will tell you, when I first started RCT, she had already been there for several years. And actually, during my first show, she gave me some exercises to do in between like rehearsal scenes so that I could stay fit and healthy. So I love getting that little bit of encouragement from her and how to perform better in the theater. So thank you, Haley. Rachel, do we have a special vendor or a store of the week? What do you got?
You know we do. We have a local business of the week, which is particularly near and dear to my heart because it is Central Market, our very own Central Market at 320 North Coit in Plano. Join them this month for Central Market Cooking School. Perfect your pairings, practice new techniques, expand your repertoire, and improve your confidence in the kitchen. It is going to be taught by their expert cooking school instructors. They are fun for all ages, so enjoy a Central Market cooking class for your next date night or quality time with the kids, or just getting away from all of those people and having some relaxing time on your own. I am not mad at that idea. Go visit your Central Market today.
I was just looking, I shop at Central Market often because they have these great little healthy meals for like 2 people or 4 people. And I've got bags down here just all stuffed in the cabinet. You know, the bag drawer or the bag cabinet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we dinner for 2 at least once a week. That or a rotisserie chicken. Oh, a Central Market rotisserie chicken. Good stuff.
That is a good one. Well, ladies, can you believe we are already at the end of episode 41? I mean, we made it over the hill and we're keeping on going, especially with those exercise and techniques from Haley. We make a long run of this, but it is so good to be with you. And it is so good to see all of you who are watching, and we can't wait until we can get together again. But until then, stay safe, wear your mask, wash your hands, and spread some love, but not germs. And don't forget, I am.
You are.
We are.
RCT. I'll be 40 years old tomorrow. Girl.
I think I'm starting to get typecast.
Oh, I was
Welcome to the club.
I'm going to pause the show here because right now there would be the most fantastic Broadway dance number you've ever seen in your life, but that's not going to happen right now. But just imagine that in your brain and moving forward.
It's a hard knock life for me. It's a hard knock life for me.
What do you
So,
mean?
Deidre, are those mashed potatoes?
yes,
Just eat
garlic. Garlic mashed
With the
potatoes.
brace?
You're just prepping for 50. You're going to be ready for 50, right?
I am.
I've got my list, but it's more like go get a colonoscopy.
Right.
Stuff like that. Y'all, I was so busy today. I'm going to sit like this because look, I didn't get the dishes done, so I just had to throw everything into the sink.
We can't even see it. We can't see it at all. Can't see it.
There it is. Now you see it? Now you see it?
Do.
Now you don't. Maybe menopause.
Kind of works.
Yeah, she's embittered and pissed off in a red dress with a dog. I mean, come on, it works.
Right.
100%.
Right. There's a lot of stuff I can't do when it comes time for theater.
Yeah.
Instead, like fold my underwear, cook meals. Like, no, I can't do that.
Let me go put another dish in the sink.
Your mashed potatoes. It wouldn't
Well,
matter.
Remember with this
It
time
would
I was
not
on a
matter.
roller coaster and the people behind me on the roller coaster said, Deidre, you can't be on this roller coaster. And
Because the people were in line for the tilt-a-whirl, and my husband.
It's all Deidre all the time.
Okay, all Deidre all the time.
Well, that's a channel that will cost you nothing.
Bye.
Bye. Brand new day.